Thank you so much for being here. Before I do start, I'd like to say thank you all. We do have a beautiful lineup of speakers throughout these 3 days. I invite all of you to make it to all the conversations because each one brings in different insights, and we hope that this inspires within you the power, the love that you hold in yourselves, for yourselves, and your lives. Let me introduce Neha. Neha has been associated with the pharma-biotech industry for more than 6 years as a researcher. When not working, she can be found playing with a cat and two dogs, having chai with her parents, or having meals with her siblings, but most of all, spending time with herself. Neha feels most alive when she does things that help her align with her creativity and curiosity, such as traveling, doodling, reading, dancing, taking care of herself, and painting. Each day she's working towards becoming her truest self, and she finds herself falling deeper in love with this experience called life in all its entirety. Neha, thank you so much for being here. Please
Thank you,
come on.
Ananta, for having me.
Yes, so uh, I'd love for you to come and tell us how you're feeling about being on the Summit True Space right now.
I am feeling very honored, deeply honored, and I I'm really happy and excited to share my experiences with everybody who is present here.
Wonderful. So, can you tell us a little bit about the pharma biotech industry to start with and how you began this journey?
Yes, so my grandfather was a doctor, and I saw him serving um, selflessly. I mean, he would wake up in the middle of the night and still serve people. So I found myself inclined towards studying biology and all of that. So I opted for that, and I ended up doing my master's in biotechnology. Uh, and after that, the way to go about it was to either be a researcher in the labs or be associated with a pharma company. And the second one is the path that I chose. And since then, I've been associated with the pharma biotech industry.
Wonderful. Can you tell us how you have, over the years, and especially in the past year, balanced work and play for yourself?
Um, Work and play wasn't the thing earlier before the pandemic had hit. So I would say that the pandemic was a blessing in disguise for me because it gave me the opportunity to work from wherever I would like to work from. And that was quite challenging in the beginning because it took me a lot of courage to go out of a proper setting and to work from in between around the mountains, or let's say when I was working from a beach, let's say. So it was initially quite difficult to keep my eyes on the screen because everything around me was so beautiful. But then I thought that it's any day better than working from the desk in four inside four walls. Is why I thought, okay, I need to focus on my work when I'm working. Only then will I be able to enjoy the things around me, and that kept me going.
Wonderful. So you have taken extremely bold and spontaneous steps over the past year, and we've been witness to it. And I think a lot of us dream, but a lot of us also don't live those dreams. Take steps towards realizing those dreams, and you've done that. So, what word of advice would you give those in the audience to say, get up, let's do this, let's make these dreams come true? So, what can you say right now about that?
So one thing that I'll say is that every time before I'm about to leave for some place, I have extreme anxiety because I don't know how I will be able to manage it. And that's where some of the tools come in picture, how I calm myself down. But it's totally worth it when you're out there. So just take that step. Like there's this barrier, and it's totally worth crossing that barrier. So I would say that go for it, even if you feel, I mean, it's not your intuition telling you not to go, it's actually your fear telling you not to go. So just go for it, and you won't regret it. I mean, even for a short period or a long period, depending on how the work allows anybody, but it's definitely a step to take.
Thank you, Neha, for sharing that. May I request you to go a little deeper into it and talk about a few more dialogues, perhaps, that repeat themselves just before you take some bold step in your life? Maybe not just about traveling, but also about life in general. What are some of the doubts that come up for you?
Some of the doubts, so during the pandemic was majorly when I actually traveled solo. Before that, even when I traveled solo, it would be for maybe a weekend and not longer than that. But this time I actually ended up spending 1.5 months in Himachal all by my own. And then I continued to explore more of Rajasthan and all of that. So one of the things that comes to my mind is, especially when I was going to Himachal, was will I be able to work from there? Because that is most important for me, that my work should not suffer whatsoever. So that is one thing. And I make sure that I am calling all the places that I'm staying at least in the beginning. And then I go ahead and I explore more places around. And I also make sure that the internet and everything is perfectly fine over there. That is one of the thing that gives me this stress, that will I be able to manage my work from there. The second thing is, being a girl in India or anywhere for that matter, if you're traveling alone, the safety comes into play. And my parents are worried about me when I'm about to leave on my own. So I have to make sure that all the places that I'm picking up, or all the places that I'm booking for my stay, they are all safe. And yeah, the safety is major concern. And then I was a very hefty traveler. I would carry everything that I would see in front of me, and I'll just pick everything and leave. But that has also, like this solo traveling has also given me an understanding of what exactly would I need if I'm going to travel on my own, because no, there's not going to be anybody who is going to help me carry my luggage. I'll have to do it on my own. And let's say if it's Himachal, I might even have to carry it on the like I might even have to trek with it. So these are a few things that I have to decide and work upon before I leave. And the
I
tickets, of course.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that last bit, especially about carrying our own baggage and possibly going uphill. So, can you help use that metaphor and tell us how you have maybe unloaded a little bit of the baggage, mentally, emotionally, also, and learned to simplify your life? Since we are at this summit called Choose Peace, so can you tell us a little bit about it?
um I, in the last 1 year or so, because I decided to spend most of my time with myself, and I did it purposefully because there were things that I was carrying like a baggage that I thought that was my responsibility to take care of, or my responsibility to figure out and fix. Those are a few things that I have let go. If it's about a family member or a friend, until and unless they reach out to me and exactly ask for help, until and unless they do it, I don't go and interfere in their matter. I am there to listen to them whenever they need it, but I don't even expect anybody to change for that matter. That, I'm sorry about the noise in the background if you hear it.
It's totally all
Okay.
right.
So so that is something that there's one mantra that I have learned during my traveling. It is what it is. And I think it has helped me a lot, that I mean, I only focus on the things that are in my control. That helps me a lot. And something that is not in my control, I mean, it takes a lot of time to figure out that, okay, I should actually just step away from it because this is not in my control. But once I figure that out, then I consciously make sure that I actually don't dwell on it and I move away from it. So this is why I try and keep my peace. Yes.
Wonderful. So, can you share on that note one of your most favorite go to tools for self soothing or calming that you have been practicing over the past year with us?
There is not just one, honestly. There are three of them. Two are my favorite. One is what you call the yogic breath. That is one that has helped me immensely. Especially with the anxiety, if whenever I would feel anxious, I would sit down, and it would be very difficult for me to bring myself to the mat, but I will do or wherever I am for that matter. That has helped me a lot. The second thing is from the book that we read together. um, that is to focus on the beauty that is around you. I mean, in the process of figuring things out and managing things, I mean, we lose touch with whatever our surrounding is. The plant that is in front of me on my desk, or the book, the cover of the book that is very pretty, or the glass on my table, or whatever it may be, or my cat for that matter. I try to disconnect with what is giving me stress and try to focus on the beauty around me, and that calms me down a lot.
Would you like to share one of your biggest aha moments about life since you have embarked on this journey of self discovery?
The aha moment. Okay. um, I would say that I found it very challenging to do. But the aha moment for me was that when I did it, it was not that difficult. It's actually possible, and it's I think the biggest step is the first one, or the most difficult is the first step. And as soon as it's done, the path is paved. I mean, it's easy to then go ahead with it. There will be choices and there will be challenges. There's no doubt about it. But the first step is something that needs most of the courage, I think. So, yes.
Amazing, amazing. And taking that forward, would you say that a lot of times the anticipation, like you said, is far greater? The fear
Yeah.
or the anxieties, our assumptions are far greater than the actual reality. And in your experience, when you've taken that step, what was that flip? What was that moment of shift that happened inside of you?
Um, it's 100% true that the anticipation is far more bigger because I imagine so many scenarios, and honestly, none of them actually happen. None of them. I'm sorry, but what was the second part of your question?
So, in that moment, usually, what is it you have found yourself saying to yourself to say, "Let's just do this"? What is it that maybe triggers or helps you take that jump and leap of faith?
I know that it's a blessing that I can work from anywhere right now. And I think the pushing factor for me would be the thought that this might not last forever. I don't know what my job might have in the future, where I would need to work from, and if I will have this possibility to work from anywhere. And I want to make the most of it while I still have it. Is I don't let my fears overpower it, and I just go for it because today is what I have and I just want to do it like at present moment. Yeah.
So powerful. Today is what we have, right now is what we have, and we make the most of it. On that note, there is a beautiful quote that says, "A bird is not afraid to sit on a tree because it trusts the tree, but it has the trust in its ability to fly." And so, through all of life's uncertainties, we can never know which tree or twig or bark we sit on might collapse, but it's the faith we have in ourselves to respond to life. And Neha, you embody that, you live that, and I truly admire your spontaneity and zest for life. Thank you so much for being here. As we come to the end of your interview, can you share what is or how do you make peace a priority, given we have family, we have friends, and there's always something that comes up in life? Life can keep us on our toes. So, how do you prioritize peace for yourself on a daily basis?
Um, I would have to give a little bit of context for this thing
Yes, yes.
because I was a very ziddi child, like very adamant. And I wanted the things to go my way. And that I had to change when I moved to hostel and then I moved to work. And then I realized that, okay, this is not how life works. Your parents will listen to you, maybe also your friends, but this is not how it works. And I thought I actually started applying that in my outer circle, but not in my close circle, that or whatever steps I would take to bring peace in the situation. Not by people pleasing, that has to be, I had to also learn, be away from people pleasing to bring the peace in the picture. But now I've come to realize that there I need to pick my fights. I need to choose my fights, and I think that has helped me a lot to keep peace in my life, whether it may be my with my parents or with my friends or work wise. I What I have on my plate, if it comes easily, if I of course I would work towards it, but if it's not reachable, I would wait and I'll keep doing my work, and when it comes, then I'll be ready for it. That's how I try and keep my peace.
Wonderful. And on the as a last question, how have the daily practices helped you change or see the change in your own life?
The daily practices are a blessing. This is I mean, it keeps me calm even in a very difficult, in a very stressful situation. The kind of calm that I certainly did not have when I was not doing these practices, because it gives me the center, it gives me the grounding to handle the situation. And when I don't do it, I actually feel more lost than when I do the practice.
Wonderful. So I'd just like to share at this point that at any time when we're feeling lost or overwhelmed in our life, we have disconnected from our vast expansive selves. We've gotten too caught up in our brain, our body, or our life, and we've disconnected from the greater whole. So, a great way to remind yourself is, as Neha had shared a little earlier, take that moment to step back and start connecting with something outside of your body, mind, and heart in that moment, so that you can bring yourself back to the present and also out of your own mind. Thank you so much, Neha, for being here with us. And we will take a moment now to just close our eyes and think about what about Neha's sharing has, really resonated with us. What about her life has inspired within us things that we've known, wanted to do, wanting to do. So let's just take a moment.